Good day, everyone. It's Meredith Leon McCormick, and I am with one of my favorite people in the bridal, the fashion industry, Francesca.
Hi. Hello
You make
there.
me sing. You make me
I know.
sing.
Well, I have that effect on people.
You do, I know.
Yeah. I
Let
tend
me
to
tell
sing a
you,
lot, so
but
my
I know who else likes to sing about you. You're a newlywed.
I'm a newlywed. I
You
am,
are
yeah.
newlywed.
I
And we
am.
had the honor, well, congratulations.
Thank
We
you.
had the honor of having you
I know.
grace us
Oh, I
in
love
the
it.
pages of World Bride magazine.
Yep.
You were
Thank
such a
you.
gorgeous bride, and your husband is fabulous.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Oh my God. He's a keeper. We're going to keep him.
We are. I'm keeping him for a little bit. A little bit.
Please do. We like that. So tell me, I'm going to jump into this just really quickly. Who were you wearing?
So actually, I partnered with a dear friend who's also a bridal designer by the name of Lara Knight.
Mm.
Lara is a local designer. She's based out of Connecticut, and we've known each other for many years.
Hmm.
And when I started the journey to gown shop, I kind of took a different direction because I
Hmm.
had been in the ateliers, I've seen everything, I've worked with brides for so many years. And so I don't know, I just didn't want to nor need to kind of go down that route. I just
Hmm.
wanted to work with my good friend, partner with her, and just come up with this fabulous look that I just felt was personal to me.
Hmm.
And so we got together. I had a vision. She had the ability to create that vision and partner
Hmm.
with me.
Hmm.
And we put together this beautiful look.
It's stunning.
And yeah, yeah, I
Did
wanted
you
to
only
just,
have one look? No, it
so
looks
I
like
had one look. I did not change really, but the look was it had two parts to it.
oh,
So what I wanted to do for my look, for my wedding gown, is I wanted to play with texture and I wanted to play with structure. So the juxtaposition of tailored with
hmm.
femininity was something I really wanted to play and I hadn't seen out there.
Hmm.
And I really challenged Lara to put together something that was just not out there and
Hmm.
not feasible. It is feasible, but not like something that is very common. So I wanted to really combine this idea of tailoring kind of construction and beautiful lines with mixing fabrics
I
and
love
letting the
that.
fabric and the gown move together. So my initial wedding gown look was this beautiful tailored silk wool coat in a Mikado, Mikado fabric, beautiful tailored wool coat that I wore for ceremony because I wanted something covered. I was getting married in the winter
Hmm.
that once I removed it had this beautiful silk charmeuse gown with structure underneath that opened up into Georgette pleating that when I moved and when I kind of went
It
in
moved
motion, the
with you.
gown moved with me. Yeah. So it had different movements
Hmm.
to it and different layers, and it was beautiful. I loved
I
it.
love it.
Yeah,
We totally jumped into having a girlfriend conversation of you telling me what you wore instead of me
yeah,
telling them who you are. So now, folks,
yeah.
let me tell
Sorry.
you why I even asked her what she was wearing. Because number one, she is one of the top stylists in the wedding industry. What is a
Yeah.
bridal stylist? Let me let you explain it because I don't think they get it.
So bridal styling is something that's been around for a bit of time and it's starting to kind of take more shape and more form. And there's different levels of bridal styling. So
Mhm.
basically, I like to kind of joke and say that we're kind of like your wedding planner for the gown in a way. And we're like your bridal best friend because
Mhm.
we, as experts in the industry, right?
Mhm.
And just like you hire experts in the wedding industry to do flowers, to do photography,
Mhm.
we are experts in the garment part, the fashion
Mhm.
part, the dresses. So as you know, and as we all know, with social media and with the vast span of bridal designers, there's
Mhm.
so much out there for
Mhm.
brides to be exposed to. So working with a stylist, we help consult and we help guide and we help direct a bride to finding their personal look and their personal style in this sea of wedding gowns or wedding fashion, rather. And so you can find stylists that can really focus and hone in on what you truly need. Some stylists do full styling, as myself, where we get you to find the main wedding gown,
Mhm.
put it all together, and then really get you to the places you need to be to articulate your vision in the wedding gown area. And then there's other stylists that give you that are a little bit more focused on maybe after party or additional looks. But all of us have one thing in common. We help get you to hone in and find your personal bridal style and bridal personality
Hmm.
in something that we don't typically shop for, which is wedding gowns.
Absolutely. Now, it's so interesting that you said that that's it's been around. Bridal stylists have been around. Of course, as you would know, we call them, people. We would go to an atelier, we would go into a
Mhm.
boutique, and it was usually a small shop owner that can style you and bespoke. These people
Right.
literally knew fabrication. They helped you through the whole process. As we moved to the bigger cities, things got bigger, things got a little bit more commercialized, and this is just my opinion. Things started to move away from needing people like you that actually knew it. I don't think, that's made you obsolete, but what I think is it's created a more of a need for you because my everyday styling may not be the look that I want for my wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I
feel
think
like
you're
you're
right.
necessary.
I think there's definitely a value to having a stylist with
Hmm.
you, to your point. Everyday fashion, you can be a fashion person, you can be somebody that loves to dress, loves to, knows how to dress yourself. And a lot of my brides are very confident in who they are. But when it comes to your wedding wardrobe or your wedding look,
Hmm.
I've learned from the 20 years of working in retailers, working with designers and one-on-one with clients, it's a completely different language.
Absolutely.
It's a completely different
Yeah.
um, process because
Mhm.
I don't think any leading up to the moment of your wedding day, I don't think any garment that a woman has put on has had that much meaning or value or impact than your wedding gown. So in addition to finding the right dress, there's all these added layers. There's the pressure of it being the most amazing gown you've ever worn.
Mhm.
There's the expectation of what is this gown gonna, how is it gonna translate? What is it gonna do when I, you know, walk down the aisle and everyone sees me for the first time? So I
Right.
think all of that gives this gown so much more
Mhm.
meaning
Mhm.
a different meaning. So
Mhm.
to have somebody be there to just sometimes be your ears
Yep.
and to be your advocate and pull
Mhm.
out the language and the dialogue that you don't know yourself, you know, or you can
Mhm.
say, and kind of get that verbiage across and get you to the place where you didn't even realize yourself you needed that dress, or you were saying one thing, but you really
Right.
meant something else.
Absolutely. I
And
agree.
it's really that's a challenge that we have as stylists. We're pulling out of your head what your vision is sometimes
Mhm.
and
And
bringing it to reality.
you said something that was really interesting. You said that um y- of all the places you've worked, can you please tell us some of the places that you worked? Because you worked with some of the top industry people in the bridal and the fashion industry. Who were some of these people?
Well, I'll start off with the latest that I worked with. I had the privilege and the opportunity to work alongside Carolina Herrera, in her atelier in her main flagship on, Madison Avenue. And when she had her bridal store there, her bridal
Mhm.
department, and I got to work with not only some of the most interesting, with some of the most beautiful brides, and had to work with most beautiful gowns and quality, but I got to work with some of the most beautiful and talented creatives in that world,
Mhm.
working with Mrs. Herrera alongside her with her clients and also working with the team that she had. So I feel that that was like my kind of like my finishing school in
Mhm.
bridal because I've been working for bridal for so many years, but that
Mhm.
was really where I felt that I got to take the knowledge and take the experience I had, and then I kind of refined it to really level up how we styled brides and how we spoke the language of just luxury and bridal. In addition to that, I worked with designers such as Vera Wang, Oscar de la Renta, and then I've also worked in bridal stores, bridal retailers, where I got to work with a lot of multi-brand
Mhm.
designers and
Mhm.
designers from all over at all different levels. And one of the things that I enjoyed out of that is really working with the bride one-on-one and
Mhm.
discovering what her journey was and discovering what look she needed
Right.
by trial and error, by seeing these designs and different fits, different constructions executed by different designers.
And the beautiful thing about that you just said is that you got a chance to work with them. So you firsthand got to see what the construction, what's the process, what goes
Mhm.
into it. So this is going to be a twofold question. What comes first, the dress or the venue? Because
So,
we're about to enter into engagement season. I mean,
yes, we
every day
are.
is engagement season, but the heaviest engagements happen during Thanksgiving, November,
Mhm.
all the way to Valentine's Day, February.
Yes.
I mean, people are getting together with family, they're thinking
Yeah.
festivities and everything else, so they want to. So what comes first? The dress?
So, so it's funny. So I'm going to give you two answers to that. So I think in the bride's mind, the dress has always lived there before anything, right? So the dress is always in the
Mm-hmm.
back of your mind. I mean, there's
Hmm.
brides that just never thought about their wedding dress until they,
Hmm.
had that opportunity. But I think a lot of times brides are always in some way thinking, especially if they meet somebody that they feel this is going to
Yeah.
lead there. I
Hmm.
think they're always cooking up, or it's building in
Hmm.
their head. So I'm going to say in a joking way, yeah, brides I think are always thinking about what I want to wear, what I
Hmm.
love, because we just
Hmm.
majority of women love fashion and love clothes. But the logical answer to that is the venue does come first before finding the dress. I think brides have a vision and an idea of what they want to wear. The
Hmm.
venue allows you to set the tone for what it is
There you
you
go.
want to wear.
Yeah.
Now, I think they go hand in hand. I think
Hmm.
if you're a ball gown girl with lots of glitz, lots of glamour, chances of you getting married like in a rustic barn or on a beach might not line up,
Hmm.
because I think your personal style leans into
Hmm.
the space as well. Granted, your
Hmm.
fiance has to have some pull and say in that as well.
Hmm.
But the venue does help set the tone for what that overall aesthetic,
Hmm.
fashion-wise, is going to be.
Yeah, I love that.
But I
And
think they
then
both inspire each other. Sorry to cut you off.
absolutely, I
Yeah.
agree. I totally agree. So we just came off of like not just, but like over a month ago, off of New York Luxury Bridal Fashion Week.
Yeah.
You get to go to these things, so you see
Yes.
firsthand things that are not even out now. They're not coming in until next season. They're not going to be
No.
in stores until like what, March, February, March, kind of to
Yeah.
do, and then we start all over again and we go to April shows,
Mhm.
So who were, if you can say, some of your favorite looks that you fell in love with? Did you have any favorites, or is it getting a little too cookie cutter? Everybody's doing the same thing.
Well, I think kind of that's a very broad question. So one, I love going to Bridal Fashion Week because I love just running into the people that I've worked with for so many
Hmm.
years, reconnecting with the designers. So I love celebrating and
Hmm.
supporting the designers that are doing great things. I think as a stylist being around for so long, it's like reinventing the wheel. How many times can you take fabric and silhouette that's and pretty limited and then constantly make it new and fresh.
Hmm.
And I think designers nowadays are doing that and doing that well. The
Hmm.
designers that I did like to see, so the way I looked at it as there's designers that are the classics, the tried and trues, the OGs, if you will, the
Hmm.
Oscar de la Renta, the Monique Lhuillier, um,
Ellie Saab.
Ellie Saab. They have a formula, they stick with it, and they do it really well. And
Hmm.
they have that traditional look and that aspect of what a bridal gown it
Hmm.
means to them, and they keep that going. But
Right.
there's designers that are coming out that are kind of playing a little bit with
Hmm.
looks. And so those designers, for example, like Jacqueline White, I
Mm.
loved her collection this year. I love what she's doing. She's still feminine, she's still really soft, but she's playing a little bit
Hmm.
with silhouette and with fabric. Designers like Alexander Greco, that I saw,
Nice.
they have a beautiful take on bridal fashion. So it's not so much the wedding gown so much. They're really playing into fashion and
Hmm.
how does this translate into weddings. So there's a little bit of a play on less traditional, a little bit more ready to wear-esque aesthetic into the
Hmm.
wedding world.
Right.
And then there's designers like House of Gilles that I've loved. If you really want high-end luxury, I mean, you walk in and I mean, their pieces are
Wait till
just,
you see our next cover.
yeah. So Gilles
Mm.
does some beautiful, beautiful things, and that's kind of where I've seen it taking
Hmm.
taking you know taking fold. You've got your
Hmm.
classic tried and trues that
Hmm.
we're always going to love, and
Yeah.
then you have designers are playing a little bit. They're
Yeah.
having fun with what they can do with fashion.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and the girl is not the same, but the girl still feels this nostalgia either through film, movies, TV shows, books, fashion, a grandparent, an aunt, or a family member that they loved a certain look and they
Hmm.
want to gear towards it, but they're still looking for a way to make it their own so it doesn't look
Exactly.
dated. That's the thing. So
Right.
it doesn't look dated, unless it's a theme wedding, a period piece. One designer that I really love her and I love her whimsical thing is Claire Pettibone. I
Right.
like her
Yes.
because she's a girl's girl. There's
Yes.
no way around it.
But
And
she does her own thing. She's not following
exactly. She's
trends. She's
not
just
doing
like,
trends.
no,
She's just not doing it.
no.
You either come to her because you love her aesthetics and you love what she does, or you're just not. And she's
Right.
okay with that. She knows she's not for everyone, but she knows that girl and that person that wants that piece. The same thing with Gilles, House of Gilles. They are an amazing father and daughter. Oh my God, I'm
Mhm.
obsessed with them. And just their aesthetic and what they do, but his background is just
Right.
it calls for that, so you can tell it.
Exactly.
And of course, Monique Lhuillier and Oscar de la Renta, they're not going to veer two-way off of it. So certain brands bring certain things, and there's certain girl for everyone.
Exactly.
Here,
There's
there's a
so much
design for
out
every
there.
girl.
I mean, in the late 90s, the bridal world was not what it was now. There was, three or four bridal designers. You went to a bridal store, there were,
Yep,
these maybe some, manufactured dresses, but
yep.
then there was the designer label really didn't have
No,
much until late
no.
90s, early 2000s,
Yep.
right? When Monique came out,
Late
when
80s. Because let me tell you who I remember. Demetrios.
Demetria,
Woo!
I worked for him. I worked for Demetrios and
Demetrios.
Priscilla Boston.
Yes, those were the ones everyone was. So there
Yes.
was a time period for everyone, for
Yeah.
every girl, and then the industry just got more luxe, it got more creative, it got more all of this. So now we have more options. Now, my last question to you. Do you think because there's more options, it's causing more of a chaotic kind of feel?
I think the chaos is always going to be there. I
Mm-hmm.
think before social media, if you go back, there were magazines, right? Before magazines, that was like it was like celebrities, right? It
Mm-hmm.
was, weddings that happen and trying to find that look and mimic
Mm-hmm.
that, in the stores that you went to. So I think once again, because this is one garment that a bride is wearing, a person is wearing
Mm-hmm.
that means more than just wearing it for an
Mm-hmm.
event, the chaos is going to be there. Where do I go? How do I start?
Right.
What's out there? However, what I have discovered with the current bride, they they know who they are.
Yep.
And what's beautiful about the designers that are out there is, as it was once before, bridal gowns had a certain look, certain aesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
right? You kind of kept it that way. You knew it was a bridal gown. It had certain attributes to it, lace or fat or tulle
Mm-hmm.
or, a ball gown or mermaid. Nowadays, you can really, brides can be as authentic as they want to be
Yep.
in their wedding fashion. So
Absolutely.
if you are a traditional bride, you have the designers that you can go to and really connect with that look because it
Mm-hmm.
it it feeds the dream that you had as
Mm-hmm.
being a bride. Now there's designers out there that if you don't want that uber traditional look, if you
Yep.
want something that translates a little more ready to wear or a little bit more trendy, let's say, or fashion forward, you have it. You're not
Mm-hmm.
limited,
Mm-hmm.
you
But
know?
let me ask you this, because I try to be a historian when it comes to bridal, everything bridal. When you look at Marilyn Monroe, they didn't wear dresses. She wore a beautiful suit. Audrey Hepburn, yes, they had dresses too because they had separate, different
Mhm.
weddings and Elizabeth Taylor.
I
These
was gonna say
people wore
Elizabeth
a
Taylor, one of her weddings, I think was
yeah.
too.
They
Yeah.
wore a suit, they wore a beautiful dress, and I don't think some of it was even white. Lucille Ball, there's
Mhm.
different ways. So what we're doing now is not new to the market. It's just that
No.
I think, again, this is why I take it so seriously as a publication that we're media. We're not just Instagram and I'm just throwing pictures together. We're trying to document history and tell who's on the market, who's the professionals like you, and
Right.
introducing options to brides. And we document it and we take it serious so that the next generation, the future generations, have something to look forward to and will understand why. There's a saying that in history that you can tell what was going on in the economy based on how people were dressed.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you're very true about that.
Yeah. So
Um,
I think that's why, like, to me, what I want to tell my readers and viewers about you and your service that you offer, we're not telling you they have to hire you. That's a choice they
mm-mm.
need to make. But I believe they should consult with someone
Yes,
like you, and have the conversation to understand better. How do I work this in? And that's why I always suggest you think you want to plan your own wedding. But have you sat down with a wedding planner to see what's all involved so you can get it? Maybe a consultation is perfect. And then you can, if you
that's
want everybody to chip in and do it, at least you have a roadmap. And I feel
well,
the
that's
same way
how I
about you.
feel. I feel that way too. I think when brides hear bridal stylist, they get overwhelmed. They're like, "Well, I don't need
Hmm.
all of it, or I don't need someone to tell me what dress to wear, or however." But what I try to offer a lot of my potential clients, or even just people in the industry when we talk, is you can just book me for a 1 hour consultation. Sometimes you just need someone to give you that launching pad to
Hmm.
just, I have an idea or I have a thought. How do I get there?
Hmm.
And that's the beauty about what us stylists are.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not just about the fashion or the taste level, it's also our resources.
Oh, absolutely.
And that comes with years of knowledge and experience and meeting people and connecting and
Hmm.
learning. And I've done all of that. You've
Yeah.
done all of that. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's our knowledge and, like we said, our expertise. And sometimes you just need that one-time call
Hmm.
or, two-time call to be like, get me started, show me where to go. And
Absolutely.
that's all you need.
And for me, when I did this on a day-to-day basis, and this was my means of a living, I used to take my clients to shows. That was the added value that I
Yeah.
brought to them, to take them to a show and meeting the designer. To me, that was the best sales. They trusted me. They knew I knew what I was talking about. They saw how the industry people interacted with me. That was a done deal. The minute I did
Right.
that, they were like,
Yeah.
yes, I'll sign, So I think that's what people may not know about you and the service you offer, is that the minute they see what you do, the running around in the shows, meeting with the designers, you have something to share with them that's inspirational. You go to the doctor, not that your grandmother didn't know that the tea was going to work. You go to the doctor because he's giving you a different perspective on
Right.
how to care for yourself. You don't say, "Oh, I don't need it because my grandmother said if I drink tea and lemon and
It'll
my
go
sore throat's gonna."
away.
That's not what it is,
It's a roadmap, right? And
Yes,
sometimes we want to get to the end result to the quickest way the path with least resistance.
absolutely.
And we try to eliminate a lot of that overwhelming emotional challenges that we face. The physical challenges of, wait a
Hmm.
minute, I'm a certain dress size. I don't know what's
Right.
going to happen when I go in those stores.
Hmm.
Let me navigate that for you.
Hmm.
Family dynamics.
Right.
Sometimes that has a lot to do with it. So
Absolutely.
we've been around to see and seen it all. So we have the solutions for all of it.
Okay, I lied. I have one last question.
Okay.
You don't just work in New York. You travel the
Mhm.
world because you just came back from Morocco doing
We
a wedding.
did. Well, it was funny. We were in Miami the week before for a big
Yeah,
wedding, and then we got home, packed up, and then went to Morocco for a week, and then we're back in Jersey the following week.
it's fantastic. So
Oh, it was great.
you have passport and you will travel with your bride.
I will travel everywhere and anywhere they need to because I think you have to be available. I have clients that are on the West Coast right now
Hmm.
that I'm partnering with some seamstresses and some other designers on the West
Hmm.
Coast. Because sometimes my clients just don't have access to the New York area or don't want
Right.
to. And
Right.
so my job is to also find not just the obvious places, but also find the gems that are kind of mixed in the shuffle that can
Hmm.
provide and give you something a little bit more unique.
I agree. I lied again. My last question, absolute last
When
question.
we could talk for another
I
hour on
know
this,
you
I
and
mean,
I forget it because I'm obsessed with you.
as I
So,
am with you.
so, um, the dress. shopping process. How do they book you? And yeah, that's my question, really. How do the brides book you? How do they find you to book you and get this consultation?
So there's two ways you can reach out to me. Well, three ways actually. One is referral based. A lot of my clients will
Hmm.
contact me because someone like yourself or planners have the relationship, so they'll refer me if they feel that there's the great match. So that's number one. Number two is obviously my website or Instagram.
Hmm.
If you go at francescadispiritostyling.com.
Hmm.
That is my main, just my name with styling. That's my website. And there's
Hmm.
a tab there for your contacts, so you can reach out to me directly. There's a lovely questionnaire to set the tone for understanding a little bit about who you are before I connect with you. And then obviously Instagram. I have my Instagram
Hmm.
account. It's a little long. It's Francesca underscore stylist dot bride. So basically Francesca stylist
We'll
to the
put that
bride.
down.
And you can always reach out to me. Yeah, you can always reach out to me that way, but that also allows you to see a little bit of my work and my current projects that I'm working on now. And hopefully we get to talk. We have a one-on-one consultation. We
Hmm.
get to know each other before there's any real documentation or any things going forward. And if it's a match on both ends, then
Yes,
we start booking the process and we get going.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time. I know you have an appointment with your bride, so please tell her
Yeah.
to forgive me for stealing you a little bit longer.
We have an Italy wedding in 2027, so we're excited. We're
That's
super
how far in
excited.
advance people are booking you.
Yes,
A
well, it's
year
funny.
to two.
Her sister got married and we styled the whole family and she just got engaged and she's like, "Well, you're part of our family now, so let's move on."
Congratulations. We look forward
Thank
to working
you.
with you and
Oh,
having more
likewise.
conversations.
Thank you so much for your
It
time.
is
It's
an
such an honor.
honor. It's an honor. And thank you for gracing us.
Oh, I'm so thrilled. I look at it all the time.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
happy holiday, everyone.
You too. So there you have it, Miss Francesca. Please, everyone, I want you to take the time, read the article that we wrote about her on our platform in the pages of the magazine, and follow her on all her social media platform. Until the next time, ciao, bellas.